be here. So I'm Jay. I'm originally from these parts, actually. This is my first time back in Canada this year. So, yeah, woo! 2 woos! Awesome! I've had a very good year, you know. Started the year, it was quite exciting. I started the year with a new lady friend thing. New girlfriend. Well, I was going to say new, she's used, but good, you know. I took her out to dinner a month ago, sitting at the dinner table, looking at her, and I said, You're so beautiful, I can't believe you're my girlfriend, because I always felt you were out of my league. And she looked back at me across the table, and she said, Really? I always felt that you were out of my league. And I thought, no way. Maybe I'm out of her league. So now I'm single. It's going very well. I've got a bit of mistrust with the lady friends, actually. I once caught a woman cheating on me in my own apartment. I came home a day early from a tour to surprise her and found her in bed with somebody else. So, surprised myself. Left me with a lot to think about. I was trying to figure out what I wanted in my next girlfriend. And to be honest, still not sure what I want in my next girlfriend, but I do know what I don't want in my next girlfriend, and that's other people's cocks. Onwards and upwards. I got in a big fight with my bank last week. So considering how much the banks have screwed up our world, I don't understand why they call us and patronize us every night. You know, you get that call, and they're like, hey, this is your bank. We noticed your money's in a savings account, but it should really be in a super savings account. What do you want to do about that? At which point, we're all thinking, put it in a super savings account. You're the bank. You're supposed to know what to do with my money. That's why I get. Technically, what you're doing right now is calling me for financial advice. When I drop my car off at the mechanic, I don't say to the mechanic, give me a call in 30 minutes and I'll tell you what's wrong with it. So my bank called me up, right? They're like, this is JJ Whitehead. I think yes it is. You want to talk about your bank account? I said, go ahead. Then what do? Then they go, before we do, can you please prove that you are who you think you are by giving us your password? At which point we're all thinking, you called me. Maybe you need a password. It doesn't work that way, Mr. Whitehead. We need evidence that it's you before we can proceed. Well, did you not call the phone number that JJ Whitehead gave you to call? Should you need to talk to him? I think we can assume this is me. We don't make assumptions, Mr. Whitehead. But you just called me Mr. Whitehead. There's 2 of us in this conversation, and we both seem to think that I'm me. It'd be nice if we could proceed. What, you think I'm some sort of criminal mastermind who has stolen JJ Whitehead's phone and held on to it for months at a time, hoping that eventually maybe his bank will call and he'll steal his money. Do you know what they said to me after an awkward pause? She goes, please calm down, Mr. Whitehead. We're on your side. What if terrorism was involved? Yeah, terrorism. I simply said, really? Have you had a look at my bank account? I don't know what kind of terrorism you think I'm funding, but I can't even afford to buy them sandals, let alone finance the next terrorist. Think that's happening somewhere in Canada tonight? There's like a huddle of Al-Qaeda gathered in an alleyway getting ready to carry out a heinous crime. And before they do, the leader stands up and looks them all in the eyes and goes, gentlemen, before we do this evil deed, let's spare a thought for JJ Whitehead for providing us all with tonight's Hello Kitty backpacks. I call that my bank bit. My friend Jenny has crooked boobs. I don't really do segues and stuff. I'm just gonna throw the topic out there. She got a boob job, and the thing is, it got a bit awkward between the two of us, because I was trying to convince her to show me. And, which is, we're friends. I thought that was a good enough thing, She eventually agreed. It got pretty awkward. She's like, why would you want to see them? They're not big and perfect. Men only like big breasts. They only like big breasts. Which is not true. If I could clear that up on behalf of the men in the room, ladies, to us, breast size is not as important as you might. To us, breast size is a lot like Coke or Pepsi. Thank you. No, to us, breast size is a lot like Coke or Pepsi in that we might state a preference, but we'll take whatever's on tap. As long as it's not flat. So I'm getting somewhere with Jenny. I'm like, come on, let me see boobs. She goes, all right. So she agreed. She's like, all right, I will show you this breast job. But there's gonna be 2 rules. So it's like, all right, I'm down with the rules. What are the rules? She goes, rule number 1 is I don't want you being all jerk comedian about this. I want my supportive friend JJ. I don't want jokey joke JJ. I said, I can do that, Jenny. I will be your supportive friend. Of course, I'll be your supportive friend. And then she said, and rule number 2 is that you're not allowed to talk about this in your comedy show. The whole reason why I screwed up on rule number 2 is because I screwed up on rule number 1 as well. I was not nearly as prepared for the breasts as I said I would be. We're in this nightclub, we're in the corridor, and she's getting ready, right? She's got her shirt, she's like, okay, you ready? I said, yeah, totally ready. She did that. I was not ready. It looked like the nipples were running away from the breast. Most paranoid boobs I've ever seen in my life. It was like she got her shirt off and they were looking either way going, oh my God, who's coming to get us this time? To be perfectly honest, ladies and gentlemen, it's the only time I've ever been looking at a naked woman's chest and felt that I was the one who was perfectly justified to say, excuse me, but my eyes are here. I call that my crooked boob joke. So I found myself in an awkward masturbation incident in my hotel recently. Once again, no way to warm you guys up for this. I was in my hotel watching a hockey game, right? As you do, minding my own business. And for some reason, the hotel television came up. The menu just popped up with the typical hotel menus like local radio, front desk, pay-per-view, adult pay-per-view. The TV just started scrolling down to adult pay. I wasn't touching anything, right? I wasn't touching the remote, nothing. I couldn't figure out why. So I grabbed the remote and I went back up to the hockey game, back up to TV. TV went back down to the adult pay-per-view. It felt like my television was trying to tell me something. It felt like my TV was just going, dude, it's 4 p.m. You don't have to work for 5 hours. How about a little you time? I didn't want any me time, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to watch the hockey game. So I went back up, TV went back down. I didn't know what was going on until I heard a guy screaming in the next room, on the other side of the wall, I just heard a male voice shout out, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Which made me realize that my remote control and his remote control are on the same frequency. And we're operating each other's TVs through the wall. So whereas I want to watch a hockey game, in the next room I've clearly got some naked, lubed up, sexually frustrated dude who desperately wants to deal with his sexual demons, and he feels like his television is talking back to him. He feels like his TV is going, "Dude, you've been here for 3 days. I've seen you masturbate 11 times. Why don't you take a break from yourself and watch the end of this hockey game?" So we continued to go back and forth for a bit now that I knew what was going on, but I realized I wasn't going to be victorious. Laid back dude versus sexually frustrated dude. Laid back dude does not win. I had two choices, right? I could go for a walk. Or I could wait and see what he picked. Ladies and gentlemen, I did not feel like going for a walk. So I formed a new team with my man next door and awaited his choice. Little us time. He scrolled down into the adult pay-per-view menu. Started going through the selections. He passed up some good ones. Passed up like Busty Babes and Wood in the Hood. Angsty Roller Girls, which I thought was sounding good. To be honest, it piqued my interest to the point that I was so disappointed when he passed it up, I had to grab my remote control and click back up to it, just to suggest to him that he was maybe missing a page. But he was determined, ladies and gentlemen. He knew exactly what he wanted. He went all the way to page 6 of the adult pay-per-view menu. He selected something that was Harry Milf's 14.